Hi, in this video I'm going to sketch the graph of this parabola starting from this equation. I'm going to sketch it here on the right, and I'm going to use these 6 elements to sketch it properly. So the first thing we have to notice here is that the y is the one that's squared. So as the y is 1 squared, it means it's going to be a horizontal parabola. Now, in this case, we have to use now this formula would be y minus k squared. It's equal to 4 times b times x minus h. Now, in this case, this horizontal parabola, the value of b will tell us if it's positive or negative. If it's positive, it's going to open to the right, and if it's negative, it's going to open to the left. So basically, we have to do something like this or something like this will be the kind of parabola. So let's get to this thing. So as on the left side, we must have a y minus k squared. That means we have to complete the square with the y's. So I'm going to move everything that's not a y to the right. So in this case, this 24 times x will be moving like a negative 24 times x, and this negative 33 will pass as a positive 39. Now on the left, we'll have the 4 times y squared plus 12 times y. Now, in order to complete the square, the y must be entirely alone. There has to be no number multiplying the y. So I'm going to factor out the 4 out of these two y's. So it will look like this. It will be 4 times y squared plus 3 times y. Now I'm going to leave a blank space here because we're going to complete the square. It will be negative 24 times x plus 39 on the right. Now I'm going to proceed to complete the square. So in order to do so, I'm going to take the 3, this number with multiplying the y, I'm going to divide it over 2 and square it. So this will look 3 over 2 squared will be 9/4, 9 over 4. So we have to add up here a 9 over 4. Now we have to add the equivalent number on the right, but we cannot just add the 9 over 4 because this 9 over 4 is multiplied by this 4. So if you want to add it, we have to multiply the 4 times the 9 over 4 and then add it up on the right. So that's what I'm going to do. Will be 4 times 9 over 4 will be just 9. You multiply 4 times 9 over 4. This is very ugly 4. Will be like this. Will be these two will cancel out. So in other words, the result will be only 9. So it will be plus 9. And with this, we can proceed to complete the square. So these 3 guys, which are inside the parentheses, are already a perfect square. So it will look like this. 4, don't forget about the 4, will be times x plus 3 over 2 squared. Now this 3 over 2, we get it from taking the square root of this 9 over 4. Now this will be equal to negative 24 times x, and the product of the addition of these two would be plus 48. Now we are nearly done here. Just the thing is, remember, there has to be no number multiplying the y minus k squared, and we have to factor out the x minus h on the right side. Now, which one to do first? I recommend you to start for the one on the right. So I'm going to factor out this negative 24. That's multiplying the x. So I'm going to factor this out. It will be negative 24 times x minus 2. You multiply the negative 24 times the x, you will get this element. If you multiply the negative 24 times the negative 2, you will get in return this positive 48. Now on the left, I'm going to proceed. Now I'm going to have to take away this number 4. So we have to divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. So if I divide by 4 here on the left, I will cancel out the 4. It will be x plus 3 over 2 squared. And now if we divide the term on the right, it will be negative 24 over 4 will be equal to negative 6 times this negative 6 times x minus 2. Now with this we have done everything we need to sign out this element, so I'm going to do it in here. From these two, from this 3 over 2, we can get the value of k. Just remember, we have to switch the sign. It will be negative 3 over 2 will be the value of k. Now from this one we can get the value of h. H will be in this case positive 2. And from the one in the middle we can get the value of 4 times p. Now 4 times p has to be equal to negative 6. So p will be equal to negative 6 over 4. In other words, p is equal to negative 3 over 2. Now here we have all the elements we require to sketch our supergraph. So we have the value of k, we have the value of h, we have here the value of p, and now the first thing you have to notice is that p is negative. So I'm going to start by writing out here p is going to be negative 3 over 2. Now as p is negative, I'm going to use a different color because this is important. As p is negative, that means that this parabola is going to open to the left. So now we got we know how it's going to open. We know the value of p. Now the value of the vertex, I want to sign this out. The vertex will be negative, it would be, sorry, 2 comma negative 3 over 2. So from here I'm going to sketch the graph. Be on 2 comma negative 3 over 2, which is negative 1.5, will be around here. Now the value of p is going to open to the left. It's negative 1 will be negative 1.5. 1.5 would be around here. Now that will be so this was the vertex. This one is the foci. We're done with the vertex, the foci. Now the directrix has to be on the right side of the vertex. In this case, I'm going to be 1.5 away from this one. Will be around here. So the directrix will look like this. I'll try to do my best to draw this out. There it is. That is the directrix. Now the latum rectum, remember, is a horizontal distance from the foci. This has to be total length of 4 times p, like this. So 4 times p would be will be 6. So it will be 3 up. Sorry. Now there it is, my latum rectum. So now will be time for the focal axis. Well, the focal axis is going to be the one that connects the directrix with the vertex, and the foci is going to be this horizontal line in this case. To be all over here. I'll try to do it not so ugly. There it is. Now we have everything required to sketch the graph. It will look, something like this. Something, oh, this is very ugly even for me. And from here we'll open something like this, and something like this. And that is the graph of this parabola.